And I'm driving a Subaru BRZ. This thing is pretty sweet. I followed him for a long time, and ooh, that sounds nice. That's really nice. I like that. So I've never driven a Subaru BRZ before. I've driven the FRS, so it's like similar but not quite the same. There's little differences, but this thing is absolutely dumped. Like, this is probably one of the lowest cars I have ever driven in my life. This thing is just unreal. I'm just bouncing, my titties are going everywhere. But I've known this guy through social media, and he jumped on and he said, hey, I could drive his car and all this stuff, and I was like, are you serious? That's awesome. This thing is done right. This thing is so nice. I like it. I'm in love with it. This thing is freaking awesome. Just got new wheels on it. It sounds beautiful. Wow. That's nice. I'm actually impressed. But this car it's pretty cool. It rides a little rough, not gonna lie, probably because of how low it is, but it's fun to drive. I mean, it's a 6-speed and boxer engine. I believe it's NA. I remember when I first drove, oh my god. I remember when I first drove, like an FRS or anything, everybody was like, oh, the handling is just amazing, like nothing compares to the handling. And I didn't really believe him at first until I hit like a corner at like 120. I was like, oh wow. I mean, it took like 10 years to get there, but it made it. But this car, I think I like it. This thing is sweet. He's got a whole bunch of aftermarket stuff. He's part of Trap House. He's a super nice local guy. And I mean, the wing, from the wing to everything, I mean, this is a pretty good car. Makes me a little jealous of my Z, but these things, get them everywhere now. I can see why. I'm just cruising through and just driving around, and I just have this grin on my face, just happy to be here, happy to be part of the team, happy to be driving it, pissing the neighbors off, which is, in my opinion, a plus. Probably not for him, sorry. I gotta look and I gotta ask him what kind of exhaust he has on it, but this thing is pretty nasty, not gonna lie. And everybody has their taste, everybody has their opinion, what they would do, what they wouldn't do, this, that, whatever. But honestly, when you find a car that someone actually cares about and somebody puts the time and the work in, you gotta appreciate it. I mean, this thing has a whole bunch of time, whole bunch of money, and he was telling me about how he just wrapped his buddy's car, and like, they're just like, whatever, we're just into it. Ooh, better go sideways over this bump. Ooh, little scrape. Oh. And they were telling me how he just wrapped his buddy's car, his buddy's Honda, and he just said, you know what, we're just gonna do it. And that's the type of people that I like. That's the people who, just get up in the morning and just want to just do it for themselves. That's the whole reason I started working on cars. That's the whole reason I started any of this stuff, is because I wanted to, or like, because I hear it in my voice, but it's like, just get up and go do it. Like, I remember I used to have a MK3 Jetta, white MK3 Jetta, and it used to be about a 1/4 inch off the ground, and it used to ride similar to this, and it just brought me so much joy. Everybody always made fun of me, like, hey, what are you doing? Why would you ruin a car like that? Why would it, this, that, whatever. And it's like, everybody's like, oh, you ruined it, you did this and that. But I was like, it made me happy, so how can you ruin something that makes you so happy? And I remember working, like, man, my clutch went out, so I was working like 2 or 3 weeks. I wasn't making a lot of money at the time to fix it, and I was thinking to myself, why would I work 3 weeks to pay for something that you guys did, like, fixed in a day? And that's what dawned on me, is like, why don't I just learn how to do it? why don't I do it? Why don't I, you know, it's probably gonna be cheaper, you know. So that's when I started working on my own cars. And like, back to what I was saying, is they just said, you know what, why am I paying somebody $2,000, $3,000 to wrap a car when me and my buddies and some beer in a garage can do it for a fraction of the price? And I mean, that's what got me into cars. That's what got me here. That's what got me going here, and here we are. And I mean, this is a series I want to start where I'm in an opportunity. I work with professional race car drivers, and we pit and we travel all over for work and stuff. So I'm in a position where I get to drive pretty cool cars. So I just want to, like, you know, use that to my advantage, and just like, I know friends that have cool cars, and see if they'll let me drive it. So this is a perfect example, and this is a series I would like to start where I just drive random cars and just ramble about, you know, bullshit. And I think it would be a lot of fun. I have to ask him what he's on, but he's static as shit. But this thing is just gnarly. But my favorite part, I mean, it handles pretty well, not gonna lie. Like, even though it's low as shit and I'm bouncing all over the place, like, it turns like a go-kart. If anybody's ever driven like a static car, like a really, really low car and all that stuff, it's like, it's similar to a go-kart. That's just how it turns. And this thing, I think my favorite part about this car is probably the exhaust. Like, I don't know, I just like that sound. That sound is so nice. And I think he did this car pretty well, not gonna lie. I mean, obviously there's a few things that I would change, and a few things that maybe he would change in the future or whatever. He's, you know, constantly changing. But I do like this car. This car is nice. I would hope to be, if I made a car, I mean, obviously I would change a little bit of things, but like, I would want it to be relatively similar to this. This is like my style. This is what I like, you know. This is really nice. And I'm gonna take her on the back road here and just kind of open her up. I'm not expecting anything super crazy or anything like, oh my god, this thing is fast, but just go through the gears, you know. It is a 6-speed, and just see how it handles. Sweet. Ooh, that opening is way too thick, so we're just gonna... Oh, it's got a little bit of kick to it. This is sweet, man. This is cool. I like this a lot. I really like his wing too. Like, I think everybody always goes like either chassis mount above the trunk, or they do a duck bill. Nobody ever does like a wing that like sits on the trunk, you know, like nothing super extra, nothing super crazy. I think that in itself is pretty cool to see, especially because it's carbon fiber. It's done differently, and I can respect it. I like it. Definitely would love to have one. It's a fun car. I have like no negatives about it. I mean, besides bouncing all the time, you get used to it. I mean, it's not, oh my god, it's not the end of the world, you know. And this is the style I like. I mean, most people will probably be like, oh, I would never lower my car like that. I would never do this. I would never do that. And it's like, well, good thing it's not your car, because if it was, you'd do it differently, you know. And that's just the name of the game. I mean, whether you have lifted trucks, or you have slammed cars, or boosted, you know, whatever you're going for, as long as it makes you happy, then you're doing it right. Who cares? Like I said, I work for a professional race team and stuff, so I work a lot on off-road vehicles. But I love the slammed look. I love the tucked, the Japanese style. You know what I'm talking about? I like that. Even though I am from, like, my day job is from the mud, the crud, and the blood, and the, you know, lift and all that stuff. That's where my background is from. I like being low to the ground. I like being different, I guess, unique. Because I mean, anybody can go out and buy a Toyota Corolla, but not everybody like thinks the same and can do like, oh, I'm going to insert here, like I'm going to slam it, I'm going to lift it, I'm going to do whatever I want to the car, you know, and it makes it unique. And so when you're driving down the road or whatever and everybody's staring at you and pointing at you, it's such a good it's such a good feeling, because like this is like for the most part a one-off car, because I mean everybody else will like maybe have similar but not the exact same car. This not the exact same way. Like he's got, I'll show you guys, he got, you know, stickers on the window, he got a whole bunch of nice little unique stuff. He's got his Instagram, which I'll in the description, and yeah, he's a pretty nice guy. I mean, it's kind of funny that cars like this and people who get in, like you go to shows and stuff, it's either one or two people. People are the coolest people you've ever met and will do anything for you and are super cool, or they feel like they're better than everybody and they'll just go up beyond to prove that they're better than you, if that makes sense. And he's just one of those humble guys that are super cool.